What's going on, everybody? Well, the people have spoken. The people, by an overwhelming majority, support the Candace Owens investigation into the Charlie Kirk assassination. Most of you guys are aware because I covered it yesterday, but these poll results are final. Look at this. And you can go see this poll for yourself on X. 49,057 votes, wherein 94% of the responders say that they support Candace Owens. 6% do not. I can see who reposted this, and many who oppose Candace Owens did share this poll. And these are still the results. I was even encouraging critics, like, please, begging them, share this. I want your side to put their input in. Like, I was trying to help the side that opposes Candace Owens and have coordinated this call that she's evil, demonic, etc. I'd say 50,000 votes is a pretty solid sample size, given that it was shared over 2,000 times. These numbers are insane, but I am not surprised. All of these large accounts, and I want to show you guys this list that everybody is losing their minds over right now. This list, the allegation is that these accounts got paid. They're denying it. They're threatening to sue, I mean, whatever. The point is that there was a hive mind type of mentality to attack Candace Owens, and it was coordinated by a small proportion of large accounts on X with significant influence. Think of the Pareto principle. 20% of the influencers have 80% of the influence on X. That's what the Pareto principle means. They don't represent what the people actually believe. The thought behind the poll in the first place was I wanted to see what the people believed. And this came from seeing these accounts and their posts and then reading the comments on them. These big accounts, they put out these hit pieces on Candace Owens, these coordinated hit posts. And if you actually go and read the comments, go and read the comments on them and just look down. Like, a majority of them that actually get put out there and get reach, they don't actually agree with the poster. So I extend the challenge to any one of these accounts, any one of these that you see right here. Do the same poll. My X account has a little over 12,000 followers. I'm tiny on X compared to these guys. Follow me now if you guys make it a little bit bigger. But anyway, put one out. These guys just put one out. Do it. Ben Shapiro, Gunther Eagleman, Graham Allen, Cat Turd. Do it. Laura Loomer, please. Let's see what the results are on your side. Please make it harder on the Candace Owens support side. Do it. You guys, they won't. And they won't because they've seen the comments on their own posts. They know where the people stand on this issue. And I want to show you guys these results too. We talked about this yesterday. This account, Britta No Soup for Knowles. She is a Candace Owens critic. Her own account and her own poll with over 40,000 followers. She's got more than 3 times the followers that I do. 59.9%. These are final numbers here of responders saying that they watch Candace Owens for pursuit of the truth. The other options are for entertainment, hate watcher, or just to see the results. 59.9% say that they're following Candace Owens. They're watching Candace Owens. If you watch Candace Owens, why? Truth. 59.9% on an account that is critical of Candace Owens, that Candace Owens has blocked Britta's profile here. I think I want to show you guys this. Christian wife, narrator, tweeter, filth, according to Candace Owens. They don't get along. They don't get along. And her own poll has almost 60% of people saying they watch Candace Owens for truth. This is just another metric It's another metric, you guys, that is just showing where the people are on this issue. It's very telling. It's very telling. Which leads us to the Bride of Charlie. Candace Owens put out her first episode of her investigation into the history of Erika Kirk, since she is now the CEO of a massively powerful and influential conservative nonprofit organization in America, advertising for certain conservative and Christian values across America. Highly influential, highly powerful. Candace laid the groundwork, introducing a number of different things about Erika's past. The most important part of the episode was Candace Owens, at least in my opinion, was Candace revealing a shocking Erika Kirk connection that we're going to dig into a little bit today. We'll start there. And then I've got Genesis Gold is today's sponsor. So we're going to hear from them. And then I've got a special guest, as I've announced, John Yep, the president of Catholics for Catholics, who has been under fire after revealing that Candace Owens is going to be making her first public speaking appearance in forever at their upcoming Catholic Prayer for America event. Before we get started, I just want to show you guys, just look at this lineup real quick. Let me bring this up again. Look at this lineup. They've got Candace Owens, General Michael Flynn, Matt Walsh, as long as the Daily Wire gives him that nod. Wow. Carrie Prejean Boller, coming after her firing from the Trump Religious Liberties Commission. So again, this is an organization that's standing up for not just Catholic rights, but the rights of all of these Orthodox Christian traditions that we talk about here so much. That's a heck of a lineup right there. A heck of a lineup. But we're going to talk about the heat that they've been getting for bringing Candace to this. John knows Candace well. They're friends, so he's going to give us some insight into all of this. He also knew Charlie Kirk well. They worked together. They worked together in the last election. So I want you guys to understand how John was involved with Charlie Kirk and their friendship. And then they've put out some good stuff. John has in this organization, Catholics for Catholics has, in this fight that we're up against Zionism. So that should be a great conversation. I'm looking forward to that. Now, here is what Candace has to say about Erika Kirk. We're going to start there. I'm Zach Costello.
Don't have to go into speculation. Let's give you the facts more about Jack Solomon. What is factual is that Jack Solomon eventually marries Carla Ronsvay in 2002. And there are also some other really interesting facts about Jack. Jack and Erika's mommy aunt, I don't know, Carla, live in Utah. He graduated from what is today known as Utah Valley University. He is very involved in the university. It was formerly known as Utah Valley State College when he graduated from there. He also created on their campus the Center for Jewish Studies. I mean, at the very least, you'd think with all of the money that he poured into that university, he might be able to call someone to get us more footage of Tyler Robinson. Or Carla. How about Carla? She's married to the man. She could have maybe, in my imagination, made it to the hospital when Charlie was shot and killed. I mean, why did none of them make it to the hospital? They're all so nearby. She still lives in Utah. This happened in their backyard. Their family has a lot of power at UVU. Why not Auntie Carla rather than Stacey Sheridan accompanying you onto Air Force Two as your husband's body is escorted to Arizona? Jack Solomon was also a professor at BYU in political science. He's the former director of the university's Jerusalem Center. He also served on the Center for Jewish Studies on the board at UVU. Zion's Gate, like I said, is his dedication. And if you're wondering how Jack got so rich, it's because back in 1968, Jack and his business partner, a man named Norman Vance, began a company called Advanced Patent Technology. That company would go on to manufacture slot machines. You got it. Slot machines. It's just amazing. It's like everyone is involved in gambling. Per his bio, in 1974, Jack gathered more than $5 million to purchase United Coin, the manufacturer of slot machines and the holder of a profitable Southern Nevada slot machine routes. In 1979, they announced plans for the Colorado Bell Hotel and Casino in Laughlin, Nevada, the first of a series of hotels to be built in the Las Vegas area. They had a lot of power in that area. Where were they? I don't know. It's an interesting connection. I am marking that for all of the YouTubers who are interested in investigation. The gambling thing keeps coming up. And I guess, as me and Charlie used to say, the rest is future.
All right. So what you guys need to realize about all of this is the connection now between Erika Kirk and the Jewish mafia. The Jewish mafia was fundamental in developing the Las Vegas Strip and were in control of Southwest gambling from the late 1940s to 1970s. Look up the names Bugsy Siegel, Meyer Lansky, Mo DeLeese, and Gus Greenbaum. Those, just to name a few. Look them up. Jewish and Italian American mobsters partnered to fund and manage casinos, which helped them bring in clean money and professional management to gambling, often with little to no criminal records. And these acted as fronts. And you know who provided the model infrastructure and the influence on this whole thing. They modeled this after how Arnold Rothstein, who was known as the brain, and he was the kingpin of the Jewish mob in New York City. This is how he organized and built his entire crime ring. He provided the model for all of this. But all of this to say is that there might be a connection, which Candace is now finding, between Erika Kirk's family and the Jewish mafia as it relates to gambling in the middle of the 20th century. Because that gambling influence and all those gambling ties, like all of this ties together. But when you zoom out, we are looking at big time Jewish players, whether it be in the organized crime or outside of it, like in big business, like banking or in alcohol after Prohibition, like the Rothschilds, for example. This is the environment that Jeffrey Epstein also emerged from. So I think this is the connection that Candace Owens is maybe thinking about here, is talking about. Now, the fact that Jack Solomon lives in Utah, as you just heard Candace describe there, and graduated from Utah Valley University and created the Center for Jewish Studies, Candace asked, why couldn't they, as in Erika Kirk, why couldn't she use those connections to get more video footage from UVU? I ask, why couldn't they have helped out with maybe some of the security at the event for their son-in, cousin, nephew-in-law, whatever Charlie was to them, on September 10th? Where is the help from the family? That's the question. Brian Harpole needed the UVU police to put eyes on the rooftops. They said they got it. Maybe those connections could have helped him out a little bit. It's crazy to me that Charlie Kirk was assassinated at the very university that Erika Kirk has family at, that founded the Center for Jewish Studies and has a dedicated Zionist gate in Jerusalem, on the night after he issued a message saying that he was turning away his support of his own and powerful organization away from the pro-Israel cause. Like, it's kind of crazy stuff. It's crazy stuff. But like Candace left it, the rest is future. So we'll see what else she's uncovered and what comes from it. It's no wonder she's under fire, though. And let's talk about that and the heat and the insights into Candace Owens and Charlie Kirk from their friendship with John Yep. And we're going to do that right after this break from Genesis Gold, which is today's sponsor. And guys, check out this report that they put together for you. It's important stuff in this day and age. To be aware that the ground is moving out from under your feet. On January 28, 2026, the US dollar quietly crossed the line that most Americans won't recognize until it's far too late. After a violent global sell-off, our currency has cratered to its weakest level in 4 years. This isn't just another bad market day. This is a financial ambush. We are witnessing a global scorched earth takedown of the American economy. The nightmare is here. The system is being hollowed out by global saboteurs so the radicals can seize power, leaving patriots like you to pay the price with your life's work. At the same time, the green light has been given to sacrifice your purchasing power. As the dollar's decline is brushed off as good for business, the markets have heard the message clearly. Your hard earned savings are being sacrificed to a failing paper system. With national debt now screaming past $38 trillion and endless spending, faith in the dollar is eroding, creating a blueprint for national surrender and total digital dependence. History shows that when a reserve currency enters this phase, the people holding paper are the last ones protected. While the media debates narratives, central banks are doing something very different. They are hoarding physical gold at record levels. Gold is the only asset that remains independent of banks, governments, and the off switch of the administrative state. I've partnered with Genesis Gold to get you a critical new briefing titled The Dollar Takedown Survival Guide, Defending Your Family and Wealth from the Globalist Siege. This intelligence report is essential for anyone who values truth, faith, and American sovereignty. It reveals why moving a portion of your savings into physical gold is the only safe ground left before the next market freeze. Don't wait for the bank's doors to lock. Visit CostelloGold.com today and claim your free copy while supplies last. Today's decline was the largest one-day drop in nearly a year. Secure your wealth in a territory that they can't touch. That's CostelloGold.com for your immediate dying dollar defense. Okay, guys. John Yep is the president of Catholics for Catholics, an organization who has really stepped up here as of late in this battle with Zionists, with Zionism that we're currently facing. John and Catholics for Catholics caught my attention after announcing that Candace Owens was going to be appearing at their Catholic Prayer for America event. I'm going to bring John in here. John, thank you for joining us here on the Zach Costello Show today.
Pleasure to be here, Zach. So many people, I guess we have a lot of fans at Catholics for Catholics who love your show. So when the crowd spoke, he said, get on Zach's show. He's the man. So happy to be here and just talk about it. And it's also just gratitude for what you and so many other podcasters out there have just really responded, I think, to a divine kind of call to step it up and speak for truth.
Yeah, good stuff. I mean, yeah, we can get into that as far as that divine call, which I think personally was sparked by Charlie Kirk. We can get into that a little bit, but let's start here with Candace Owens. Like you and your organization, John. You guys are in the trenches right now. You guys are taking arrows for sure, and that comes after announcing that Candace Owens would be one of your featured speakers at this upcoming Catholic Prayer for America event that I have been talking about here on this show today. Zionists in particular are calling for your cancellation. They have a particular problem with this. It seems as though the only acceptable form of Christianity is one that's Zionist approved. So what I want you to do is give us the background story and the history on you and Candace Owens and kind of how you got her on board for this.
Just back up quickly on our organization. We're young, we're 3 years old, and we're all about getting Catholics engaged to fight for America. Whether that's politically election time season, cultural moments. We need Catholics, we need people of all faiths to step it up and truly be America first, one nation under God, right? So that's what we do. Our work has included, as you're going to find out, direct working relationship with Charlie. We were the ballot chasing partners for Turning Point USA in the 24 election, right? So they gave us, Charlie and his team gave us 2.1 million names of Catholics in the 7 swing states. And we ran a huge volunteer team, chased down ballots for to get President Trump elected and achieve, with the grace of God, the largest Catholic landslide in U.S. history. So, I've had a working relationship with Charlie, but more importantly, of course, now, because it's not about work, it's about friendship. And we had a relationship of faith going back to when Charlie wasn't even famous. My family knew him back in Illinois. I'm from Chicago and lived in the same suburb Lamont, Illinois, where he started in that kind of that shabby little garage of Turning Point USA, right? So we knew him back then. I reconnected with him after I left seminary here in Phoenix. And lo and behold, we're in the same neck of the woods, same part of Phoenix. And, when I saw him again after kind of being away from him for 10 years in seminary, the first question, this gets into the whole question, was he Catholic, was interested in Catholicism, whatever. And the first thing he says to me was at TPUSA 2022. He says, love Catholics so much. Would you connect me with a Catholic priest? I said, absolutely. And which I did. And that priest and several others became very instrumental in Charlie's life and Erika's towards the end. Right. So, we would have this kind of relationship back and forth. And, he would send me a scripture quote, every now and then, as he did with many other people. And I would send him back something too on our own faith. Right. So it was kind of just a real legit relationship. I would see him at Catholic Mass. He would leave and I would give him fist pumps. We kind of head off for our respective HQs to do the work of saving America. Right. And so it was a real true friendship with him that I treasure very much this day. Candace Owens, let's talk about her.
Let me ask you something real quick, John. Let me jump in there and ask you a question. So a lot of the problems that, especially Candace has gotten a lot of pushback on just bringing up the fact that that Charlie had this interest in Catholicism. And I see it as kind of evident of a more broad shift of a lot of young people kind of taking on a little bit more curiosity or being more interested in more of like the Orthodox Christian faith in general. A lot of pushback that Candace Owens got early on was because she brought up the fact that Charlie was curious about Catholicism. Yeah, go ahead. I mean, what, it sounds like, based on what because the pushback that she's getting is like, oh, he was only interested in the architecture, right? It's kind of being downplayed. Why is that? And you probably have some insight. It seems like it was more than that.
Absolutely. And first of all, if you're you may not be Catholic watching the show, you're like, why is Zach and John just talking about this? This is a private little issue. Are they just trying to take, chalk one more a convert up to the faith? I mean, as a Catholic, that's great. We want people to know our faith or love the sacraments, etc. That's true. But it transcends that, right? And this is why it's important, because as Charlie moved, the closer he got to Catholicism, which has been verified, and we can go through those facts, recap all on that, it coincided with his geopolitical shift away from a blind support for the 1948 state of Israel. Those things coincided. So whether you hate Catholics, whether you think this is just some silly Catholic debate, you have to at least acknowledge the fact that this has important, because our faith teaches us very clear about yes, we condemn anti-Semitism, which is basically hatred of the Jews, and Israel's got a natural right to exist. But the thing is, what they've been used, they weaponized it. It's almost like that foreign entity has weaponized Judaism against our own people, against the Jews in this country, against Christians with this. You have a biblical mandate to support the 1948 state. No, we don't, right? So that shift was happening in Charlie Kirk. Okay, that's why it's a hill worth dying on in that sense. Okay, so for the doubters out there, let's just recap. And you mentioned the whole architecture. Mike, that's like the word of the day, right? So he just loved his faith because of the architecture. Now, granted, the church where he went to probably was the best looking church in all of the state of Arizona. Okay, I believe that. It was gorgeous, right? And that's the whole point. You go to a church that raises you to God, right? But this is malarkey, okay? That it was just architecture, okay? I was just going through text with Charlie, Zach, before you brought me on just now. Just going back, just recapping this. And this intertwines with how we connected with Candace. So flashback. This is May of 2024, okay? Candace had just left the Daily Wire past November, the famous Christ the King tweet, which shook the world, shot her around the world. She's gone from Daily Wire. And, we're sitting around one day with our team. We're like, wow, she became Catholic. We're waiting for people to, like, some of our church leaders say, that's awesome. Congratulations. Welcome home. We should do that with every convert. That's what Jesus did when the sheep the prodigal son returns, right? So we said, you know what? How about we just throw like a little celebration for her? Okay. Hey, Candace, welcome home to the Catholic faith. Sorry about the lack of welcome you've gotten from some of our leaders, but hey, it doesn't matter. So we put on a mass here in Phoenix, and we just said, hey, this is the most sacred thing we have as Catholics, the Holy Eucharist. Why don't you come to Phoenix? She came, we did an event with her, and that was that. Well, guess what? So I'm texting Charlie about this very event. Okay. It's May 2024. And I just realized I haven't even shared this text before. So it's the first to hear this the show. I said, hey, I sent Charlie the link for this welcome home mass. He responds, very cool. Okay. And then I said, Charlie, this little celebration thing we're doing is this is what we're going to do for you and turn it up 5 notches, I say, when you make it home to the Catholic faith. Okay. I was maybe a little too bold there, right? But so what did he say? He responded right away and said, well, just between us, the priest that I connected with you, I've been trying to bring up with him, and for some reason we've had a disconnect and unavailability to connect. But he says this, I've been trying to meet up to discuss architecture. No, to discuss Catholicism. It's right here, my text messages, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then he said, I love Catholicism, right? So it was there. And then we were texting back and forth. He says, I go to mass weekly. I love it. Right there. Charlie's messages. Okay. So I don't know why this is. I think I do know why this false architecture, like excuse has been being pushed, not just early on, recently. I think it was a friend of Erika's, I think it was Tracy, who said just recently, like, yeah, Charlie loved it. That's not true. Why would you push that? I mean, I think it's for what I said before. I think if you identify him with a certain faith that has a very clear position about how we should treat the 1948 state of Israel, which is actually America first position, that's no bueno for a lot of the donors at TPUSA. I mean, I'll pause there. I mean, if I'm getting off track, but that's kind of how I see that playing out.
No, that's such an incredible insight. And that is the hinge issue here. And that is what Candace Owens exposed on day one. There was almost like this hijacking of Charlie's legacy. And it was like, no, we're going to bury all of these thoughts that he had, where he was thinking about questioning how he was being treated by Zionist donors and even exploring a more traditional Catholic faith. Like, it's like, I talked about this on my show, like the term supersessionism was Orthodox Christian belief for 1000, I guess you can say, until dispensationalism was introduced, maybe in the 18th century. And that is where evangelical faith took and would eventually became Christian Zionism. But this return back to, or this shift away from what you would say Zionism or evangelical Christian Zionism that was clearly taking place in Charlie's life, it had political implications, it had religious implications, and in the aftermath of his death, like, that has been the issue that I think has really been sparked here. It's not some shallow left and right debate that we're having. We're actually having a centuries-old religious debate, which in some way I think is pretty special as it relates to Charlie Kirk.
It is, and it leads into this. We're all like trying to understand, like, who is Erika Kirk right now? Okay, the big series Candace is doing right now, and I mean, she goes to my parish. I see her at mass, right? And I'm not going to judge her soul. That's God's, right? But we can judge action. We have a duty to do that. It's part of the human experience. You have to judge actions, not intentions. But it's like, Erika, if this move was happening in Charlie's life, why are we being silent about this? Why? It doesn't make sense. The famous donor that the woman that leaked to Candace, remember, she was at the Kirk funeral, and she had that experience, and then she was kind of targeted by I think it was Stacy Sheridan, just sought her out in the church, right? This same woman goes to and she went to Bernadette, or because she felt this Catholic aura around Charlie's life. That same woman goes to the TPUSA fundraiser, the gala in December, where they pulled in $38 million, which is, and she has experience like, wait a second, you're not even talking about his faith life. It was very Shabbat Shalom-ish, okay? So there's a disconnect, and I'm not sure why.
And we don't have to get too much into Erika Kirk. That is probably my biggest problem that kind of sparked my criticism of her in the first place. It's like, you knew Charlie was being treated like this. You knew that you had to have known that he was having these thoughts, both professionally and what he was thinking, like politically speaking, from his organization, but then also religiously. How could you allow this after the fact? Like, that just doesn't sit right with me. And then you have Turning Point USA, which, Turning Point USA Faith is full tilt on bringing in all these evangelical Christian Zionist churches. And she's, none of the donors that made Charlie's life a living hell in the last 6 months of his life you don't cut ties with them. You continue the relationship. And it's frustrating. It really is frustrating. And you start to, it begs the question, like, why? Why? Like, if you want to continue Charlie's, and this is the argument of continuing Charlie's legacy, it seems like just becoming a blind Christian Zionist is not what Charlie wanted as far as his legacy goes. So
it was an anecdote right there. TBUSA Faith, right? And I never want to throw the baby out the bathwater. I mean, they do great stuff, but like, here's the deal. That's not what Charlie Kirk was. They had an event. I can get the text at the exact time when it was, probably like 2024, that TBUSA was having a faith event. I think it was Oklahoma. And I saw the speaker lineup, and I sent a message to Charlie. I said, hey, it's great. I mean, just like, in all fairness, it's not like this is DEI. You got to have every race represented, but I don't see a lot of Catholics on there, and or any. And he messaged me back and he said, well, he kind of punched back and said, well, in all fairness, like, they didn't respond or something like that. And then I said, well, we just did your breakout session in Detroit for the People's Convention with Donald Trump, and we had the largest breakout session there with Catholics, and we showed up and we chased ballots. He said, you're right. I'm going to correct that in text message. So that wasn't Charlie. Charlie wanted that whole representation because he understood that. So, but yeah, anyway, I mean, it's like, so I guess we could like kind of jump to like the Catholic Prayer for America event. What is this? What is it? What's all the buzz? Okay. Candace is coming. Okay. As our other speakers, right? We do this yearly event. Usually it's not Mar-a-Lago, once a year, prayer gala. But it's not your typical prayer. We just like, hey, pray like way up here. We name the issues that need to be prayed about. Epstein, like, why aren't church leaders? I mean, there are a lot who are saying this evil upon our country is still there. We need to be praying to bring accountability. Let's pray for Pam Bondi. Why are they arresting people in England over this, but not here in the United States? So makes no sense. Catholic Prayer for America is an event where we bring the prayer to the heart of what our country needs on the 250th anniversary of the country, right? So yeah, you're right. The last time Candace did an event was actually our Welcome Home Mass here in Phoenix. She's sticking her neck out there. It's going to be very safe. And the event, it's there at the Waldorf in DC. And, it already gets, eyeballs because some of the speakers there, including Candace, right? The pushback has been crazy. Okay. And as you get every single day on the show, Zach, but it kind of got even more unhinged when the Carrie Prejean thing. I mean, you covered it on the show. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, my listeners and audience should know about Carrie Prejean Boller. Is it Prejean or is it Prejean? I've been saying Prejean, and if I'm wrong, then wouldn't be the first time.
Just say it with
with confidence. Yeah, just say it with confidence and whatever.
Nobody ever doubts you, right? It's like
that's right.
The first reading at a mass, Catholic mass, and there's some like name in the Old Testament. They always tell lectors, just say it with boldness. No one's going to know.
That's right. If you say it confidently, then it sounds right.
I think it's Prejean. That's what I've been saying. So, and Carrie hasn't corrected me yet. So
anyway, just to give people some a very quick background, Carrie Prejean Boller served on the President Trump. She was selected to serve on President Trump's White House Religious Liberties Commission. There was a hearing that took place, I don't know, maybe about a month and a half ago. Carrie Prejean Boller asked a Jewish individual if she, as a Catholic, if she does not embrace Zionism, does that make her anti-Semitic? The answer to that question that she received was essentially yes. And that created this whole blow up where she was removed by Dan Patrick, who's the head chair of that committee, and a bunch of Catholics in social media, including myself. You guys all know this. You guys, John, you at Catholics for Catholics, you guys spoke up as this is an infringement on the rights of a Catholic. And these are basically what you're telling us is that, Orthodox Christian belief, like it's not just Catholics. I mean, this is what Orthodox original traditional Christian teaching has been for, the first 2,000 years of the church. There are it's like 90 something % of Christians worldwide are not Christian Zionists. So for her to ask that question, if I as a Catholic do not embrace Zionism, does that make me anti-Semitic? And for that answer to be yes is a bold answer. And it's also a very dangerous answer given the crackdown that we're seeing lawfare-wise, monitoring, tracking, censorship of individuals who have been deemed by organizations like the ADL and I think mainly the ADL, but other kind of Jewish lobbying organizations that Stop Anti-Semitism is another one. But they're going after people and they're literally waging lawfare and playing for keeps when it comes to shutting people down who they deem anti-Semitic. And if being an anti-Zionist is anti-Semitic, then we're approaching a very dangerous time for conservative Orthodox Christians in America.
Absolutely well said. And I think just further elaborate on the context of that Religious Liberty Commission. Again, Zionism 101, best definition is this. It's a biblically chart. People say, well, Zionism just means you believe that Israel has a right to a natural right to exist.
That's gaslighting. And that would be gaslighting because that's not true.
Yeah, absolutely. So Religious Liberty Commission. I mean, this was not just a blow up that happened on whatever it was February 9th. This had been building. Carrie had been told from early on when she first joined the commission, she shared some of those text messages that basically come out of this commission, but don't do any like talking about the Gaza war going on there, the genocide, don't bring it up. So she was like kind of under her religious liberty was being threatened on a Religious Liberty Commission from the very beginning, right? And then, of course, she tried to bring, of all people, Jewish rabbis from New York, I forget the rabbi's name, to come and help support her position because they felt like second-rate Jews because their first allegiance was to America and not to a foreign entity. Okay. Yeah. That was denied her. So she has this debacle. She says it out. We look at this. We're like, what is going on? I didn't know Carrie. I'd never talked to her before. And we got put in touch with her. And we saw her, like, everyone was like just piling on her. And some of our own Catholic bishops who were also on the panel, they didn't even speak up either. And I was like, what's going on? So we're like, you know what? We talked to our team, prayed about it. We're going to give this girl an award. Okay. So the award on March 19th in DC, that's what you got to play. You got to play their game. We got to be tough. Okay. Either you believe what you believe or like, go find a different profession. So she's going to get an award March 19th. We address that. Why? Because they're defense of religious liberty. Okay. So that's how we have to be. We are the people. Zach, your poll says it everything. The people are behind us. It's just this outsized impact. Yeah. So anyway, so Carrie, she's on the award. Of course, Mark Levin, Laura Loomer, and others like Seth Dillon. I think they all dogpiled on us for doing this silly war. It ain't silly. It's American, and she's got our back.
It's the same attack that we just saw with Candace Owens in her latest trailer. It's the same small proportionate group that has tremendous amount of influence on X that can make a lot of noise when they want to. And that's where the attacks come from, but it's not the majority. It's not, guys. Like the people know. The people know, and I think that's what we have on our sides. Like we do have the numbers. We just have to find a way to organize, galvanize, and unite so that we do have a voice that can stand up against this that we're up against.
100%. So, and I see it happen. People see it happening. It's most of our pushback. We're getting a lot of pushback. Some of it's bots, right? Which, ironically, I think you showed at the beginning of the show the different podcasters that may have been paid, right?
Make sure you say may. Allegedly.
Allegedly. Did you see like the one word which is like it's like the common denominator on all those posts? It's demon. Okay. It's demon. Yeah. Interestingly enough, we've been bombarded with emails since we announced Candace and Carrie and others. But recently, last 24 hours since their series, what's the number one word that's on those anti-whatever emails? Candace emails? Demon. Interesting, right? So they're coordinated. They're good. They're good at what they do. But we're also not stupid, right? And so
we're not. And I think it's really important that you say that. It's like we're not stupid. And there's a lot of people that really just are good faith seekers of the truth. And we really just want to know the truth. And we have been lied to time and time again from those in power and from the authorities and from the institutions. And people are very aware of what's going on. And we can smell the BS from a mile away. And I'll say this, like, it is the people that practice the faith, And I'm not just, obviously I'm Catholic. Everybody here knows that I'm Catholic, but the individuals that practice our Christian faith and are committed to it and know the history of it. Like, these are the people that are the most based, they're the least influenced by government authority and propaganda. And this has always been the case. Those individuals who ascribe and commit their life and put their faith in God and not any man or party or individual on this earth, these are the individuals that are the hardest to control. We saw it during COVID. We've seen it. We're seeing it with the Epstein files. We're seeing it with the Charlie Kirk investigation. Like, it is the truly and deeply religious that always cause the biggest problems for those who are in power and who try to control others. And this is a moment, and I'm excited for this time that we live in, because as ironic as it sounds, is we are living in a time where it's going to be harder to be an Orthodox Christian. It's harder to be a Catholic. It's harder to be Orthodox. It's harder to be a non-Zionist, ultimately, is what it comes down to. But it's like, guys, we get to now put our lives and be in line with the church that has been persecuted for the last 2,000 years. It's like, it's kind of an honor when you think about it. Like, we get to step up as kind of a militant lay, really, for the first time in history, because it's been clergy throughout the past that have really had to step up. But this is kind of a unique time in history where it's like, this is a massive movement amongst the lay in Christianity to really fight for the faith. And it's kind of exciting when you think about it.
It's very American too. You're saying
very much so. Yep.
Followers of God are the hardest to control because it was designed like that. America was born out of that, reporting to a higher power than government, right? Declaration. Yep. We appealed to the supreme judge, as Charlie Kirk would say, that supreme judge was Christ. That's how the founders understood that. So they appealed to Jesus Christ in the Declaration of Independence at the end. And we do the same. And that's what kind of it makes us stronger like that. So I think it's crucial right now more than ever. People of faith understand that you, some of the other podcasters that just come up on my radar recently are doing, and that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Our allegiance is to Christ and no one else, right? That's it. It's not about left or right. It's not about Republican, Democrat. Now, there are different sides that align more with our Christian faith, and we as Christians need to sit in a place of discernment and discern which party, which individual or politician that we're going to put in there best serves our interests. But we have to remember that our allegiance is to Christ and the church, and that's it, right? So, yeah, good stuff. All right, John, man, this was a great conversation. I feel like I could talk to you for hours. This is good stuff. I feel like we got to cut short though. We don't have to cut short, but we should
next
probably
time bring the cigars, Zach.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I mean, I will very much be looking forward to seeing you at this event. Can you give these details? And for everybody that does, John will give the details. And for everybody that needs to know, we've got a link. It's a special link down in the show notes of this video for you guys to go. You get a pretty significant discount. John's been very nice to give all of the Zach Costello fans here a discount on a ticket to this.
$225 discount. Okay, Costello, right?
And I asked you to bump it up a little bit more, and you did, so I appreciate that. But give us the details here, John.
All right, so links in the show notes, but register there at cforc.com/prayer and use promo code Costello, okay, all caps, and you're going to save $225 on your ticket purchase, okay? So that takes you down quite a bit, $225 off for the fans of the Zach Costello show. So completely worth it. Zach's going to be there in person, okay? So this is your opportunity to meet him as well, and many other people. And just also, if you're going to come, if you can't come, make it this about what it's about. Prayer is what gave birth to America. prayer is what's going to sustain America in these next 250 years. We're funny enough, last thing I'll say is we're connected. Our group, Catholics for Catholics, is connected to the Religious Liberty Commission, believe it or not. And why? Because President Trump, to his credit, on September 8th, announced as part of the initiatives of the commission, the America Prays campaign. Okay. The desire of President Trump to bring prayer back to America. Okay. We're one of the 15 partners with the White House on this. So we're doing what we signed up to do. So to bring prayer back to the nation. So consider coming. To be amazing if you can make it. And yeah, we'll just looking forward to more great podcasts from Team Candace, Team Truth.
Yeah, good stuff, John. And I appreciate you coming on. And guys, like John said, I'm going to be there. I would love to meet some of you. So if you guys can make it, go and check out that link. Get signed up, use that promo code, and I would love to be able to meet you and hang out with you. We listen to Candace a lot here, Matt Walsh, General Michael Flynn, Carrie Prejean Boller, and then others. It should be a great event. John's also going to be there. So if you want to come hang out with us, that's a great opportunity to do so. If you have any questions about that, you can also email me at zach@zachcostello.com. But John, great stuff, man. I really appreciate you coming on, and I will look forward to seeing you here soon.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. All right, guys. That is going to be it for today. Let me quickly go through some of these super chats here. I appreciate you all sticking through and watching us today. I thought that was a great conversation with John. Wow. I'm excited. That was good stuff. I thought those insights into his relationship with Charlie Kirk were phenomenal. Really cool stuff. Really cool stuff. And I think a good counter to a lot of the messaging that we hear from the Zionist side of things, who are really trying to hijack Charlie's legacy. I mean, that is what a lot of this comes down to. That's one of the things that Candace called out very early on. So it's cool to see somebody with firsthand experience with Charlie and watching Charlie kind of develop in his Catholic faith. I mean, John had a firsthand experience to that, and that was cool. That was really good insight there. Good morning, Mr. Zach. Thank you for all you do and sharing the truth. God bless. Thank you, Sarah, for the super chat and the donation. We've got Dean here gifting 5 Zach Costello memberships. Awesome. Good stuff. I appreciate that. Make sure you guys become a member. We're going to have a members only show on a day here next week. Be on the lookout for that. And yeah, we're going to do that next week. So I'll pick a day, trying to figure out which day. Paul Pearson, thank you. Thank you for what you do. I appreciate you, man. I'm just here trying to do the work that I think God put me on this earth to do. Feels good, though. Feels good. I like the heat. I like the battle. Did God make me to be on X and, battling trolls? I don't know, but hopefully we're making a difference. Okay. Zach, I will not doubt Candace ever. I just hope we are still on the path to find the truth about what/who killed Charlie Kirk. Yeah, I mean, I think that's what all of us truly want. We all truly just want to be on the path toward the truth, especially as it relates to what happened to Charlie Kirk. And I think that Candace is. I think that she still is. I mean, I've talked about this before. Candace is conducting an open source investigation. She has a wide reach. She's got a lot of connections. She is finding these leads. She's presenting them to find out more. Sometimes we chase a lead. Sometimes we go down a rabbit hole that ends up empty. Sometimes it's a dead end, and that's okay. I mean, a lot of her critics and a lot of her opponents always like to take those times where maybe she was speculating or maybe she was pursuing a lead that turned out to be false, and they use it as like, oh, the whole thing's debunked. And that's just totally not fair. Look, I mean, you guys just heard me and John talk about it. We live in a day and age where we haven't been told the truth for a long time. And as far as I'm concerned, you do that again and again and again. We, the people, we're smart. We see what's going on. We're not just going to be told what to do. Like we want the truth. We want to live in a world where truth reigns, where virtue and Christ is king. Like this is the world that we want to live in. So if we see something that doesn't add up or that's working against that, like we're gonna get after it. We're gonna you get a Candace Owens if this is how you're gonna treat us for years and years and years and years. Thanks for that comment. The Catholic Strategist, wow, became a member. Awesome. Thank you. Like that handle. Cool. Paul Pearson, let's start coining Candace the angel of truth. Hey, look, she's a human being. Candace is a human being, and I like to keep it that way. Let's keep her as a human being, right? She's a human being that's doing her best, and I think she's doing a good job. I think she's doing a good job. I don't think that the criticism that she gets or her opponents, I don't think they treat her fairly, and this has been the case since day one. And but I have no expectation that Candace Owens is going to be perfect, or that she's going to be perfect, or that she's not going to get angry, or that she's not going to make mistakes. Like, this happens when we make her something that she's not. Then when, those mistakes inevitably happen, or when she doesn't act perfectly, then like that just creates more ammunition for the other side. She's a human being and she's doing her best. And and as far as that goes, like, I think she's doing a good job. Mary Garcia, thank you. Thanks for the wonderful podcast, Zach. God bless both Zach and John. Thank you. Yeah, I thought that was awesome. I really enjoyed that conversation with John. That was good stuff. I hope you guys got good value from that. And I hope you got value from the rest of the show as well. It's me, Pretty Pink. Thank you for becoming a member. Bulletproof Garage. What's up, man? Yeah, I appreciate you. I saw some good comments from you yesterday. As a Christian, I was praying for Israel after October 7th. By the grace of God, we were blessed with wisdom to ask questions and open our eyes. It's about discernment. Erika at Bulletproof Garage. So I'm sorry, is your name Erika? If I called you man, I really apologize for that. I need to get better with the adjectives that I use to describe people. But if your name is Erika, then my guess is that you're not a man. So, but anyway, thank you. Thank you very much for the comment. As a Christian, I was praying for Israel after October 7th. Me too. Me too. I obviously, any of us who are truth seeking saw what happened on October 7th, and it was terrible. Leave aside the governments and the organizations that were involved in that whole thing, whether Hamas truly wanted to exterminate Jews, or whether or not there was a stand down order by the Israeli government. Leave that aside. Ultimately, innocent people were killed. And that is wrong. That is wrong. The response, when you apply, for example, Catholic just war theory or Catholic just war teaching or doctrine to how Israel responded, there are pretty clear signs that they went beyond what would be considered a just response to that attack on October 7th. I think that is a very fair criticism of what Israel did in the aftermath of October 7th. But yes, we were blessed with wisdom to ask questions and open our eyes, and that's who we are, and that's what we're going to continue to do. Like, as Christians, we are going to advocate for the side of truth and love of all people and all rights. Like, we are a religion of ultimately nonviolence, and we can be effectively nonviolent. We can defend ourselves, we can stand up for ourselves, and we can obviously, like, self-defense is a part of just war teaching. But when it goes above and beyond that, regardless of the group, religious or secular, that's being attacked or being killed, like, it's our responsibility to step up. We are the ones that we are the ones that cannot be controlled. We are the ones that speak out to authority, regardless of what side they think we're on. Christians are problems, and I like it that way. Thanks for the comment. Erika, Bulletproof Garage, thank you. Adrian, I like how you looking to the camera and try saying it with your chest, also at least bringing somebody out that can verify what he says. I like how you're looking into the camera and say it with your chest out. Also, at least bringing somebody out that can verify what she says. I don't know if I'm understanding your comment fully. As far as like me talking to the camera and saying it with my chest, like, anything that I say here, I believe. If I turn out to be wrong and that's proven, like, I'm happy to admit that I'm wrong too. I know I'm not perfect. Like, I've been wrong before. I'll be wrong again. But I'm going to sit here. I'm going to say what I believe to be true. Yeah, with my chest out. And if you're talking about John being someone that can verify what she says, though, like, John verified some of the things that Charlie says. maybe I'm misunderstanding you. But in any case, I'm very thankful for the comment, and thank you. I appreciate you. JV Pollard became a member. Awesome. Good stuff. All right, last one here, guys. Anastasia Mitchell, thank you. My algo brought me here. I saw Candace's face on your thumbnail, so I clicked. Thank you for being on the right side. Well, thank you for joining, and hopefully you can find that. Yeah, I mean, I'm talking about Candace right now. I cover a good amount of what Candace is talking about. I've said this to you guys before. The two issues that I care most about right now are the Charlie Kirk assassination and its consequences on Turning Point USA. Erika Kirk obviously coming into it. Candace Owens is the prime mover in that space. And I'm also extremely interested and invested in Zionism and its effect on American media, politics, and government. So those are the issues that I cover for the most part on a daily basis. And yeah, there's been a lot of coverage of Candace because she is the prime mover in the Charlie Kirk investigation. Like, I see people like, opponents will criticize me and be like, oh, you've only built your platform off of Candace Owens. Like, actually, my platform and my YouTube channel was growing a lot faster when I was talking about Trump and the election and Elon Musk and Doge and being a kind of a MAGA fanboy. Like, go and look at Social Blade if you want to see how fast my channel grew up to 200,000 subscribers. Like, it happened over the course of like I mean, from the summer of 2024 through February at last year, like I was over 200,000 subscribers, and I went from like 5,000 to 200,000. Like, it was crazy explosive growth because I was talking about the election. I was talking about Trump. Like, I was a MAGA fanboy. My account grew like crazy. I went through a phase. Oh, this is a really good. This is good. Happy anniversary, everybody. It is the anniversary of the binder release for the Epstein files. And you know why that is an interesting little segue into what I was just talking about? Because it was at that moment, this time last year, where I did a video after I was a, big Trump advocate, big MAGA guy, really wanted him to win the election. I thought he was going to be the guy that was going to go in and he was going to get the American government working back on behalf of the American people. Like, this is the guy that couldn't be bought. He was truly going to go in and be the guy of the people. I really believe that in Donald Trump. Make America healthy again, a big time add on to it. I care a lot about my health. I care a lot about what goes into my body, and I care a lot about what goes into my kids' bodies. My wife cares a lot about this stuff too. RFK Jr. coming in, make America healthy again. And I think that part of the administration, I think it overall has done a pretty good job. I'm not black-pilled on the entire administration. I'm very upset about how Trump has handled the Epstein files because I thought that was a betrayal of, he chose the elites over us. He chose the elites over the people. It was a middle finger to the people as far as that goes. And this is the 1-year anniversary of the binders. And when that came out, I was pissed. And because I had built my account as kind of a MAGA fanboy, I put out a video that was like, Pam Bondi lied to us. This is ridiculous. I'm pissed. And I lost like 1,000 subscribers from that video. And I was like, what the hell? Like, so this is what this is? If I only put out stuff that's super positive about the administration, this is how it's going to go. This is what my YouTube platform has grown into. And I was just like, I don't know. That's not who I want to be. So I went through a period over the course of the summer where my heart wasn't really in it because I had kind of dissenting views or criticism of the administration, especially with how they handled the Epstein files. I was right. But now I'm in a position to where, like, I don't care. And what has caused all of this has been just the pursuit of truth. And what really invigorated me and fired me back up again was, unfortunately, the death of Charlie Kirk. And I was going through a phase where I was like, I don't know if I want to continue this. I'm not just a Trump fanboy. Like, is my heart really into this? And then Charlie got killed. And I realized at that point as I was like, all right, I'm going to stand for what I believe to be the truth. And I'm going to fight for the faith. And that when Charlie died, something in me, I don't know, a switch flipped to where I was like, if they're willing to kill for these ideas in the arena of ideas, if people are willing to kill in this arena, then it must be extremely important work. And that's where I resolved to be like, all right, I'm gonna step up. I'm not gonna be the next Charlie Kirk. Nobody, I mean, nobody can be the next Charlie Kirk. He was a unique individual that God made. Everybody made us differently. But I'm going to pick up some of the armor, and I'm gonna go. And I'm gonna continue in this fight. And that's what I've done. And what I've found here since is almost some peace in talking about the things that I'm talking about now. And the growth that I've had over the last 6 months since Charlie passed away is significantly slower than any growth that I got as a fanboy for the administration that's in charge right now. Go and look at accounts that, like, there were accounts that were smaller than me at the time that have just absolutely taken off. I'm not hating on anybody, but you go to a guy like Devery Darkins, you go to a guy like Matt Morse TV. These guys, their accounts have just skyrocketed, and they've just been generally just kind of supporters of the administration. If they believe in it, that's fine. They're doing what they believe to be the truth. But I'm just saying, like, you look at an account like Benny Johnson. Benny Johnson's account has, my goodness, it's exploded over the last 2 years. He had under 1 million, like, not that long ago. And I haven't looked at his account recently, but it's like 5 million, maybe, plus or minus. That's massive growth. So people criticize Candace Owens for, like, Candace Owens' growth has been fairly steady. Mine is kind of, it's on somewhat of the uptick now, but, like, the big time, gaining of subscribers and the big time influence isn't this kind of segment of the right that we are in right now. Like, that's not where the massive growth or the explosive growth comes from on social media. That's not it. But as it all comes down to it, like, yeah, I'm covering Candace, and I guess kind of where we just got, that was a rant. Wow. But what got me started on that was that, yeah, I have a lot of coverage of Candace Owens now since Charlie Kirk has passed away, because she's been leading the charge of the investigation, which I really care about. And she's also been getting a lot of heat. It's funny. You have all these accounts that are very critical of Candace Owens that will come at someone like me or other guys who are talking about the coverage that Candace Owens is providing in the Charlie Kirk investigation. And they'll say, like, oh, you've only built your platform on Candace. It's like, dude, you're doing the same thing. You're just doing it from the negative side. like, what are you talking about? Like, you've got these massive accounts on X and on, whatever social media that's sharing your stuff because you're attacking Candace. So, I mean, you're just doing it from the other side. And you're doing it because she's one of the most influential people talking about one of the most important topics right now. It's like, okay, everybody's talking about Erika Kirk from the negative side, from the positive side. And it's because she is one of the main people right now in the center of attention. It's like, this is how it works. Like, you talk about the important issues that are going on, and there are certain people that end up as the prime movers of these issues. So here we are. This is what we're talking about. Anyway, wow. That comment really got me going there. Oh, man. And that got me a couple more super chats, but I'm going to get through these here, guys, because I got to get rolling here today. We're over an hour, and that's longer than I normally like to go. P.S. I was just saying that opposed to the bots calling her a demon. Yeah. Okay. I got you. Yeah. Thanks for that clarification. I appreciate that. Adrian, no, you didn't read it right. I like your boldness in supporting Candace. All right, cool. Thank you. Yeah. All right. I appreciate that. That's what I thought you were saying, but I wasn't 100% sure. And I don't, I want to be delicate with some of these comments. I don't want to misrepresent what you guys are saying here. So I appreciate it. Yeah. Hey, we're going to come out with our chest out. We're going to stand on what we believe in and what we have to say. I appreciate you. Mushroom C4 Mushroom. Thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you for the donation. Determinator. Jesus Christ is the only way for us to seek truth. Freedom is all about questioning authority. 100%. 100%. Like it's so frustrating that, you know, people always say like, oh, Jesus, you know, I don't see you acting like a Christian. Like, Jesus came, like, you should be peaceful, you should be kind, you should be accepting of others. It's like, no, like that wasn't Jesus. Like, read the gospels. I swear, man, people say these things like, and I don't think they've actually read the gospels and they actually read the life of Jesus. Or they read the lives of the first Christians, like in Acts of the Apostles, in the history, and what it actually took. Like the lives that were put on the line, the lives that were given up. Jesus, the way that he went at the authority. Like Jesus, like what Jesus was is he was the figure, he was the free speech mechanism. Like Christ is the logos, Christ is the that which sets things right. Like we talk about like this universal principle of that which sets things right. Like that is what we are talking about when we're talking about Christ. He's the ordering mechanism. He's that which sets things right throughout all of creation and all of life. He's that which sets things right within us. And when things are not right, when things are chaotic or overly ordered or tyrannical, like the Spirit of Christ, the Holy Spirit is that which sets things right, which gets them back in order, back in alignment with God. This is who we are. This is who we are. So when we see tyranny, when we see injustice, we are the ones that are like, we're the body of Christ. Like we're the church. Like we are the ones that act in accordance with the Spirit to set the world back right. Dolores, thank you for the super sticker. Awesome. I really appreciate you. Adrian became a member. Good stuff. All right. And then last one here. Anastasia, I've subbed. I will be back. Have a wonderful day. It was nice to meet you. Christ is King. Thank you for being here. And thank you for the super chats. I really appreciate it. And then last one here, super sticker. All right, guys. Thank you for being with me today. Hey, if you can make it, and I understand the price tag. It's it's also a charity event. Like this is an organization that they're a 501c4. So they make their money off of donors and off of events like this. So I totally understand if that price tag is a barrier to you. I would love for those of you guys that can make it to join me. Go and check out the link that I have in the show notes. I will put a pinned comment with that as well. And if you guys would like to purchase a ticket, then please do so. Use my code $225 off the ticket price, off the original ticket price. That's what I've been able to get for you guys. If you are going to come, if you do purchase a ticket, please let me know and send me an email at zach@zachcostello.com with your first and last name. I would love to meet anybody that shows up that's a follower here of this show in person. All right, guys. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you guys tomorrow. I'm Zach Costello.